Hey everyone, it's Corina Walsh here from Shift People Development, and I am being joined by Sarah McVanel, and she's here to talk about recognition. As most of you probably know by now, I just released my first book called The Engaged Employee Blueprint. And yay! There's an entire chapter on recognition, and this is Sarah's focus. So I can't wait to hear what it is she has to say about recognition. So Sarah, tell me a little bit about why recognition was your choice when you decided to focus in your work.
Yeah, so you know what? After spending probably 15 years helping teams, doing mediations, working one-on-one as a professional coach, we consistently found that recognition was the key, easiest strategy that we could use to help with things like building satisfaction with leadership, trust in the team, and even in the organization, and generally overall engagement. And so, you know, we had that great success. We would continue to do that work. And then we decided that in preparation to write our book, that there must be some data to be able to validate that. And I'm sure you write about this in your book. I'm so excited. It just came out. I can't wait to read it. We went to a Canadian engagement survey company, Metrics at Work, and we said, you know what? Could you separate out the 20 most satisfied teams and contrast them to the least satisfied 20? And we found a huge statistically significant difference in continuous improvement, satisfaction, in leadership, trust in the organization, intention to stay, and overall engagement. So, I mean, I don't know of a single tool, maybe you do, Karina, I'm not sure, that could help with any of those things compared to recognition that could help people like that. I mean, you know, it's not hard to do.
Yeah, if you're going to pick something to focus on, it's a really great place to start when it comes to engaging your employees. So I have been following you on social media for a while, and I know you have something called Frog, and you talk about Frog a lot. So tell me, and you have a book, so please hold up your book again and tell us a little bit about your book and about what this means, this Frog.
Well, Frog stands for Forever Recognize Others' Greatness. And the key principle that we hope that people take away from this is that we all have greatness. Sometimes we do a very good job of hiding it behind complaints and gossiping and negativity, and but it's there within all of us. And when we are able to see it within ourselves, and then we're so much better able to notice it happening all around us, and that we have so many opportunities on a daily basis to recognize people in our professional and personal lives. And that has a beneficial impact on us as well as each other. Because, we both know the stats. I'm sure all the people reading and watching this know that only 30% of the workforce across North America is actually satisfied.
I know.
So if you had a tool, if you had a strategy that would cost nothing or virtually nothing, like saying thank you, personal specific words of acknowledgement, written thank yous, those are the main ways people want to be acknowledged. Would you not use it more often? I know I do now that I have this evidence and this data about why recognition boosts engagement and makes us personally so much more satisfied too.
Yeah, exactly. And you're so right. If we're struggling to see our own greatness, it is really hard for us to see it in other people. And it's not that we're necessarily being intentional about that. It's just some of us, it doesn't come as naturally. So we have to work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious, in your work, do you see a difference between what a company or how a company chooses to recognize their employees, and maybe there's a mismatch or a disconnect between how the employee actually wants to be recognized? Because if it doesn't match up, the result won't be the same.
Yeah, and you may waste a lot of money and effort in the process. Absolutely. I mean, I see this in the organizations I support, which is sometimes why they bring me in. I mean, some of the work that I do is a complete overhaul of people's recognition strategy, whether it's a small not-for-profit right through to a multinational company for-profit. And also the Conference Board of Canada just last spring, so depending on when you're watching these videos, early 2017, and it's the study on appreciation. About every 6 years, they go out to Canadian workplaces and they ask them, how are you recognizing people? How much money do you spend on recognition? And does it work for you? Is it getting you the results that you're looking for? And they did find that mismatch in their evidence and their data as well. We're spending on average in Canada $161 per employee. Of course, huge variation between industries, and I know you work with a lot of different industries. Tech's much higher, manufacturing is much lower, but the point is, though, no matter how much we're spending, it's not quite what people are looking for. Number one, we're practicing years of service programs, so those milestones, and yet does it really motivate you if you're struggling, if you feel like you've had more work added to your plate, that you're frustrated, knowing that you're going to get an award in 2 or 24 years from now, you know? So that's one thing. And I'm not saying don't have them. I'm just saying if you have the type of company or if you are thinking, oh, you know what, we've got a program, it happens over there. Well, then that's where the mismatch happens, right? Because milestones and years of service, they work to complement your overall strategy. And that's often in the companies I work with to help to build in really good foundational strategies and programs, but it's the day-to-day stuff. I know you talk about in your book how important peer-to-peer recognition is, not just leader to employee or the corporate programs. And that's exactly why it builds a more engaged workplace, because people want to hear the acknowledgement from the people who see them do their work, that they appreciate that work that they're contributing because it is truly authentically known by those individuals. And we can all do that, right? So that's where the mismatch often happens, is people think recognition happens by those people, HR, public affairs, the CEO, the boss does it, not us. And actually the best, strongest cultures, recognition cultures, but also cultures overall. Great Place to Work Institute, some of their latest research is showing that trust is one of the biggest things that differentiates the best places to work from places that aren't as great. And again, that data that we had found shows that recognition helps to boost trust. It's so easy. I don't know another strategy that's easier than recognition to boost trust.
You're absolutely right. Recognition does boost trust. And we want to see companies spending time and energy on recognition, but then also there's nothing more painful than seeing that effort go to waste because, again, it doesn't match up with what the employee really wants, right?
Yeah.
If you were to talk to a small or medium-sized business right now who isn't doing any recognition, where would you tell them to start? Where would they begin if they wanted to start small?
Well, the very first thing I would actually say, which is an automatic from my coaching background, is where are you doing it even a tiny amount in your life, your personal life, your professional life, because they probably are not realizing that they're actually doing some things. They're not calling it recognition. So that's the very first thing. And I would say, okay, great. How could you do more of it? How can you build on your success? And what results are you getting from it? That aside, three ways in which almost everybody wants to be recognized: verbal thank you, personal specific words of praise, a written thank you card. So for the love of Pete, have a stack of thank you cards and some things on hand. And on Friday before you leave work, write at least one, you know? And it's really simple. It's really easy. And I mean, Corina, the last time you got a thank you card, did you open it up like, oh my God, another one of these? Great. No, we don't. We're not like that, right? We hold on to them. We look at them if we're having a bad day. We smile. Think about that person positively. So those are the easiest ways to use it, and they're free or cost virtually nothing.
I agree. Yeah, it's so nice to receive that personalized thank you. And my clients are always a little bit surprised when they realize that it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. They don't necessarily need to have a huge parade for their employees. There's these small things that, like you said, are free or almost free that often have the biggest impact.
And I would follow that up too with asking your employees, how do you want to be recognized? And I'm sure that they will say that, but also, there's really neat leading practices, innovative practices, such as there's an organization where I live here in beautiful wine country in Niagara in Ontario. It's an aggregate company. They pick up garbage, they do all kinds of very hands-on industrial type of work. And somebody had the idea that we should be philanthropic. 100% of the money comes from our community. That's the only reason why we're surviving and we're in business. What are we doing to get back to our community?
Wow.
So the owner said, well, what do you have in mind? And they said, we should have a community awareness week. So people can form teams and be relieved of their duties, or they sort of work their work around what they're doing, and they donate blood, they volunteer in soup kitchens, they do all kinds of things. And then the team that wins is the one who has had the most acts of community service and social responsibility. And they do some really fun awards thing at the annual retreat that they have anyway. And the spirit, they've been doing this for 3 years. It's called Walker Industries. is huge, and they don't even publicize it on social media. I mean, I think companies should be sharing the great things that they're doing, but they don't want to. They're humble, which is fine. As Canadians, we are. But you know, the great thing is, people say, I love working for this company now. Like, you know, I was donating blood. That's how I learned about this. They're not a client of mine. And so listen to your employees. That's what your employees want. And this is a growing trend I'm seeing with the clients that I'm working with, is that people don't want, I know you talk about perks in your book and about how that's not always the best strategy to recognize people. Well, a lot of the time what I'm seeing with my clients is they say, instead of giving me the gift card, or instead of giving me a water bottle with the company logo on it, give me points towards donating to my favorite charity, or to my clients. I'm in sales, to my clients' favorite charity, to show them that we care. So listening to your best people, listening to the people who want to have a voice about creating a great engaged workforce, and they'll tell you, they won't be shy about it, but we just have to listen. We have to ask.
Yeah, because there has to be a meaningful connection to the recognition, right? And like you said, we have to ask. It always comes back, for me anyway, to communication. Mm-hmm. The lines of communication are open, and we're asking our employees what it is they want and what it is they need to feel connected to their work, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this was fantastic. You've given us lots of ideas. If people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that? And where can they find your book?
Yeah, they can. Well, greatnessmagnified.com is my website. My book and my workbooks available on Amazon or on my website. I think chapters too, probably. So yeah, I've never bought my own book. You know what? I also have a YouTube channel as well, so people can get lots of free ideas by looking at those vlogs. Every week I release a different vlog, and most of them are focused, not surprisingly, on recognition and having more satisfied and healthier workplaces. So yeah, people can check out my YouTube channel as well, just Sarah McVanel, McVanel.
Excellent. Greatness magnified. So when we see the greatness in ourselves, it's so much easier to see it in everyone else.
True. Too right, my friend. Too right.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It was really great speaking with you.
Yeah, great chatting with you too.